Hi, Valerie. Okay, first, go ahead and load up cabinet number 8 by clicking on cabinet number 8. And I'll do that here. Just click on it. It'll go to the cabinet editor, and then right-click the picture, and then finally left-click the unfinished end, and click View Machining. Once you're there, you're at the first screen for the video, where you start off in the text, in the script, by saying, here is some sample machining on an unfinished end. We have a number of lockdowel machining operations shown in brown, but we also have some vertical drilling for adjustable shelf holes and hinge plate holes, as well as a simple dado for the cabinet back. These lockdowel machining operations are meant to fasten the cabinet bottom to this unfinished end. Okay, Valerie, now at this point you have to change this view to the cabinet bottom. So I'm going to hit exit and then click the explode button so I can see it better, and then click the bottom and view machining once again. So if we view the machining of the cabinet bottom, then these 3 sets of machining for horizontal boring match perfectly with the lockdowel machining we saw on the unfinished end. The phone just rang and I had to answer it, so I'm not sure if I already said the following, but if I didn't, or if I did, let me just say it again. Getting back to the script, we say if we view the machining of the cabinet bottom, then these 3 sets of machining for horizontal boring match perfectly with the lockdown machining we saw on the unfinished end. Cabinet Pro has a very convenient method to match this machining, which happens to be horizontal boring but could be any kind of machining. And by the way you make this tilt like in 3 dimensions like I have it is you click this button, Valerie, and leave it clicked down and move the mouse around, and you'll see this whole picture move. As you can see, Valerie, I re-clicked, I don't know if there's such a word as that, re-clicked the unfinished end, brought it here, and then tilted it again. So now I'm going back to the script, to the lockdown machining on the intersecting and unfinished end. Okay, after this, we want to exit out of this area. Right-click the picture again, hit the OK button to get out of the cabinet editor. Go to the CNC setup, general CNC options, and then synchronize machining for connecting parts. Now we go back to the script. This brings us to what we refer to. This brings us to what we refer to as. Say that really fast. See if you can do that, Valerie. This brings us to what we refer to as user-defined synchronization tables. Assigning the same synchronization table to 2 intersecting parts allows machining to be placed at locations so that the lockdowels on one part perfectly match the appropriate machining on an intersecting part. Now load up cabinet number 5, Valerie. Right-click the picture, and then click the right unfinished end and view machining. Now let's go back to our script. To take another example as to how these tables are used, here is all of the machining automatically assigned to a wall cabinet defined in our CNC setup. Based upon the depth of this part, there are 2 locations of this lockdown machining operation. Okay, Valerie, now hit the exit button, click the top, and view the machining again. That correspond to the locations of machining on an intersecting part such as the cabinet top. Okay, Valerie, now you're going to hit the exit button, right-click this picture to get out of it, change the depth from 13 to say, I don't know, how about 18 inches? And if it's in millimeters, then change it to inches down here first. Now, right-click the picture again, click that unfinished end, and view machining. And if we increase the depth of the cabinet and therefore the unfinished end, we will see that we now have an unfinished end where lockdown machining is automatically placed at the 3 locations shown here and defined in our synchronization table. Now go ahead and switch to the cabinet's top. I'm just going to click that top and view machining. Now back to the text. And if we were to view the machining for our cabinet's top, we will see that the top has had its machining changed by the same table. Oops, we need to put the arrows here before we look at this. I'm going to stop it and put the arrows there. Following, we have, gosh, doggone it. I'm not sure where we're at. But anyway, once we have the top here, we have an arrow pointing to the depth. I think I've already said this, but let me do it anyway. And if we increase the depth of the cabinet and therefore the unfinished end, then we will see that we now have an unfinished end where lockdown machining is automatically placed at the 3 locations shown here and defined on our synchronization table. Yes, I think we already had that, but the phone rang and I'm all mixed up now. So let's go ahead and continue. Wait a minute. What the heck? Anyway, I think you can figure out what I basically you're looking at the finished end, the unfinished end, pointing to the lockdown machining, and then we're switching over to the top, and you're pointing to it. And go ahead and follow for yourself what I wrote on the script because my video here's got all messed up. Okay, Valerie, once you have shown that the machining on the unfinished end, which you saw a minute ago, is at the same locations as they are on the intersecting top, then we want to exit this altogether and bring up one more cabinet. Right-click this picture and just click this little magnifying glass and choose the bank of drawers, the last cabinet number 9. And then right-click the picture and click that unfinished end and view machining. Hopefully I can get this one done without the phone ringing. It's interesting because the person who was on the phone was from Mexico and Eliana is not here. What do you think of that? One final note, if we look at the drawer guide machining on this drawer bank, for each drawer guide we can see that we have a combination of vertically drilled holes and lockdown machining for each drawer guide pattern that have been set up at our drawer guide setup screen. I think I'm going to reword that so the script is not going to be exactly what I just said, Valerie. Doggone it. Okay. Instead, I wrote, and lockdown machining for each drawer guide pattern. These patterns are set up at our drawer guide setup screen. That sounds better. However, we are not restricted to lockdown drawer guides. Okay, for our final demonstration, go to Room Information from the opening screen, then go to Door and Drawer Information, that category, and then right here, Drawer Guides, select, I think it's this one that we select. What the hay ball? Oh no, Hafla. Yeah, we want Hafla. Select Hafla, and then let's resume at the script. We can switch our drawer guide for just one drawer, one cabinet, or for all of our cabinets by selecting a non-lockdown drawer guide. Once you finish with that, you hit the OK button, and Hafla is there, so we hit OK again. Load up that drawer bank once again, cabinet number 9, into the cabinet editor. Right-click the picture, click that unfinished end, and view machining, and we will see holes there rather than lockdown, I hope. Oh, puke face, how'd that happen? Hold on. Here we see an example where all drawer guides have been changed by simply selecting a non-lockdown drawer guide with vertically drilled holes. By the way, Valerie, I know that you saw lockdown there first, but I messed up on the setup. So I'm going to go ahead and fix the setup so that when you get to when you change to half of the drawer guides and you come here initially, you will not see Lockdowel, you'll see these holes instead. Okay, when you're done, hit the exit button, right click the picture, hit the OK. Now you're at the opening screen. Reduce this thing so it looks a little bit better. And we want to show Cabinet Pro and Door Pro CNC at the very end. So now we go back to the script. Because of the features we have covered in this video and other features that provide user-defined CNC automation, Cabinet Pro supports lockdowel fasteners and any type of machining for not only modular cabinets but for highly custom cabinets as well. I'm sure as you use Cabinet Pro and you see these phenomenal features that you'll know that the person who made this is incredibly brilliant. Now, you may want to switch. I would stick to the script. Forget that last sentence. Well, don't forget it, just don't say it, that's all.